Hello dear students, welcome to high school science classes. I am Sarfriman. In this video, I am talking on the topic respiration from the chapter 1 of biology. If you remember, in nutrition, you studied that the food particles you put in your mouth, and that is called ingestion, and that food particles you get it digested in your buccal cavity or in the mouth cavity. Then you swallow the food, reach into the stomach, get digested or get broken further down there, and then further get more digestions in the small intestine, and those digested food in the small intestine will be absorbed or will be taken through this wall. You see the arrow here, through this wall, taken into the bloodstream, and that food particles through the blood will pass into the cells. It is somewhere here in the cells, and those food particles which are still stuck here in the small intestine are not useful anymore, will pass out into the large intestine, and then it will pass out of the body in the form of popped or something. The food particles which reached here in the cells will get used or will be utilized, and that process is called assimilation. All the processes from the beginning, from time you ingest till the time that the undigested food get digested, is called nutrition. And that is just a short recapitulation of the entire nutrition processes. Now we will be concentrating on this topic, respiration. Look at this diagram. You see, we need electric energy. For what? For doing all other stuff. To run the machine, to light the houses, to light the room, and etc. etc. You know better. In the same manner, our body also needs some energy, and that energy is called ATP. We don't call it electricity, we call it ATP. And this ATP, or this energy, is only produced by the process that we call respiration. This ATP, which is produced from this process, is then used by the body to perform all other functions or other processes. To generate electricity, you need water. But our body, to generate energy or to generate ATP, it needs glucose. So how will you define respiration? Respiration is a stepwise breakdown of these glucose molecules in the cells in order to release energy in the form of ATP. Now you might wonder who and what organisms required to do this process. Of course, every organism, whether plants, animals, or microorganisms, they need to respire, because everybody needs energy. And the main aims of the process of respiration is to produce energy. And the process of respiration, remember, it takes place inside the cells. And respiration process is of two types. You see the types of respiration. Type 1 is aerobic respiration, and type 2 anaerobic respiration. In aerobic respiration, respiration occurs in the presence of oxygen, whereas anaerobic respiration, there is no need for oxygen to be available to perform this respiration. So you may get questions on define aerobic respiration or anaerobic respiration. Now let us have a quick revision. If you can answer all these questions, I believe you are good with this topic. Question number 1. Define catabolic process. And number 2. What is respiration? And number 3. Name the substance used for respiration. If you looked in the video properly, I think you get the answer. Glucose molecules. And number 4. In which part of the body does respiration occur? In which part of the body does respiration occur? And the last question. Define aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. This simplified diagram of a cell structure, this cytoplasm, this is mitochondria, nucleus, these are the other cell organelles. Respiration without oxygen takes place here in the cytoplasm, where the respiration that requires oxygen will take place here in the mitochondria. Now, the respiration takes place in cells, inside the cells, here inside the cells, and the substance that is used for respiration is the glucose molecule, and the parts of the cells that is used for respiration are two: cytoplasm and mitochondria. Now these are the points that you need to remember. Glycolysis and Krebs cycle. The respiration process which takes place within the cytoplasm is called glycolysis, whereas the respiration process which takes place inside the mitochondria, here, the respiration here, the process of respiration that is taking place here is called Krebs cycle. The respiration process that takes place here in the cytoplasm is called glycolysis. Respiration reactions or processes of respirations, are different in different organisms and in different type of cells. So in microorganisms like in yeast and bacteria, the process of respiration takes place inside the cytoplasm, inside the cytoplasms only. See, the glucose molecules inside the cytoplasms will be converted into pyruvate or pyruvic acids, and it produces energy. This pyruvate again will be broken down to produce ethanol, carbon dioxide, and energy or ATP. That too takes place inside the cytoplasm. In the cells of our muscles, when we are doing exercises, respiration takes place in our muscles too. Inside the muscles, there is less amount of oxygen, so that you can say that there is no oxygen in the muscle cells. So the process of respiration in the muscle cells takes place in the cytoplasms alone, here also in the cytoplasm. See, the glucose in muscle cells will be broken down into pyruvates, and the pyruvates again inside the cytoplasms will be converted into lactic acid and small amounts of energy. And in the cells other than muscles, examples like in the skin, or maybe in the plants, or maybe in any other parts of the body, the cells in any other parts of the body, they have a lot of oxygens. So the process of respiration will be different. So the glucose, let's say for example, like suppose in the skin, the glucose molecules inside the cells, inside the cell cytoplasm, will be converted into pyruvate, and at the same time some energy will be released in the form of ATP, and this pyruvate will then enter into mitochondria, and inside mitochondria the pyruvate inside the mitochondria will be broken down into carbon dioxide, water, and energy or ATP. So here you see both glycolysis and Krebs cycle. Glycolysis if the process takes place in the cytoplasm, and Krebs cycle if the process takes place in the mitochondria. Again, let us have a quick revision. Question number 1. Define glycolysis. Define glycolysis. So the glycolysis, define glycolysis, and define Krebs cycle. Krebs cycle here. Glycolysis is a process of respiration that takes place inside the cytoplasm. Krebs cycle is a process of respiration which takes place inside the mitochondria. And question number 3. Write the overall reactions of aerobic respiration. This must be the answer. And the last question. Where does respiration taking place? We have been talking about ATPs again and again. Now it's time for you to understand what is this ATP. As I explained before, ATP is a form of energy that is produced inside the cell during respiration, and the full form of ATP is adenosine triphosphate. The next important question is this one. You may ask, like, write the differences between aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. I think you must be understood by now, and you can answer in a proper way. The differences between aerobic and anaerobic respiration. Point number 1. Aerobic respiration requires oxygen, whereas anaerobic respiration does not require oxygen. Point number 2. In aerobic respiration, glucose is broken down to carbon dioxide and water, whereas in anaerobic respiration, glucose is oxidized to ethanol or lactic acid. Point number 3. In aerobic respiration, there will be a large amount of energy produced, whereas in anaerobic respiration, lesser amount of energy will be produced because due to absence of oxygen, energy production also will be less. And point number 4. In aerobic respiration, the process takes place into two places, cytoplasm and mitochondria, whereas in anaerobic respiration, the entire or all the processes takes place only in the cytoplasm. You may be interested in the next video, that is the part 2 of respiration processes in man. Please like or hit the bell icon so that you can get the updates when I release the new video. If you have any problems, feel free to write in the comment section below, or you can contact me through WhatsApp or in my official Facebook account. And also, if you need the notes and all other questions, you can download from the links in the description below this video.